the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Jet Manuel. And in tonight's game plan, the TNT Tropang Giga are champions once again. We'll get inside the minds of TNT's successful campaign to capture their 8th PBA title in franchise history.
Ricci Rivero joins us to talk about the NBA's new officiating style. How does this affect James Harden and the other top scorers of the league? And we will find out the secret behind the dominance of Sisi, Rondina, and Bernadeth Pons in the Beach Volleyball Republic. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. It's been 6 years since the TNT Tropang Giga hoisted a PBA trophy and 8 since their last win at the Philippine Cup. And after winning their final showdown against Magnolia, the wait is finally over. Our correspondent Gretchen Ho sat down with TNT team owner and chairman of PLDT and Smart, Manny V. Pangilinan, to talk about the importance of this title for the franchise.
How sweet is this win for you, finally turning things around after 6 years, bringing home the all-Filipino title again?
Well, obviously we are all very glad that TNT won it and relieved, no? After more than 2 months of tough games for them. So we're very happy for them. And of course, after a title drought, so to speak, of about 6 years. No? And glad to welcome back CHOT. And happy for him that on his return, he was greeted with a championship. No?
Your message for the TNT team, the players who are, probably taking a rest right now, and Coach CHOT Reyes as well.
Some of them getting married, like Pogoy, I think. Yeah, well, of course, again, resending our congratulations to the team for a well-deserved win. And in the next few weeks, before you return to practice on November 15, rest and relish your victory, which was hard-fought, harder, So we wish you well in the second conference, which is an import conference. And remember, consistency in performance and change. If you need to change, go ahead. Innovate, right? That is the mantra in today's world, isn't it?
There you have it. Thank you so much, sir. From the champion of this year in all aspects, congratulations again for your great...
I think they're the champions.
2021. Sila pala.
We just the cheerleaders.
Yes, that's true.
And of course, that is Gretchen Ho with Sir Manny Pangilinan. Catch the full version of the interview next time on The Game. And right now, we welcome the architect behind TNT's comeback to the championship, 9-time PBA champion and 5-time Coach of the Year, Coach CHOT Reyes, alongside, of course, team manager GABBY. Coach CHOT, Sir GABBY, congratulations once again. It's never enough to say, and you'll never get tired of it. But once again, congratulations on your championship.
Thank you, Jet. Thanks for having us here.
Good evening, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Sir GABBY. We heard, of course, from Boss MVP and innovation and the way he reached out to the players. I want to ask you, Coach CHOT, immediately after the game or the first time you heard from him, anything special he said to you directly, after winning that championship?
Right after, nothing much. He congratulated us. I can't recall anything much. GABBY, ikaw, may naalala ka ba? Except for the fact that, it was a big relief that we were able to get through, the gauntlet na tinatawag na nila.
Oh, Sir GABBY, it's funny because there's an award for Coach of the Year. Coach CHOT has won it many times. Pero kung may Team Manager of the Year, siguro you're the front runner of that right now, especially with what the entire TNT squad has gone through. Could you give us a bit of a backgrounder on just how difficult it was for you in particular? Because I know you're in charge of a lot of things and making sure everything runs smoothly. Just how difficult and how much sweeter your trials made this victory?
Well, for me personally, it's been a 3-year journey. I was kind of out of basketball for a while. I was doing my corporate stuff, and boss asked me to help the team And while I was with the team, it was a lot of things needed to be fixed. So it's just amazing, and it's really a team effort. I can't claim credit for anything. It's really MVP, Boss Ricky, Boss Al, Coach CHOT, even our consultant Mark Dickel, who's not here with us. The players. It's a team effort. I mean, it's really that, I mentioned in my Twitter and stuff at Facebook, like it's a journey. It's really a journey, and it's so amazing to see everything come to fruition. And then Coach CHOT is definitely, without Coach CHOT, we won't be here. So, talagang, it's amazing. I mean, I was crying, I was like shouting for joy. It was just, and I hope it's the start of something, like MVP said, constantly innovate. And even Coach CHOT will say that, this is the start of this something that we can maintain. So it's always we always have to continue to be better than what we were. So this team can definitely be better than what it is now.
Well,
But let's savor the moment.
Well, Sir Gabby, you mentioned that you were jumping up and down, you were crying, you were screaming. Pero si Coach CHOT was sitting on the side, contemplating, looking at the scene, and taking everything in. We've seen the shots of that, we've seen the videos of that, Coach CHOT. I was wondering, what was going through your mind? Because I know you're a serial winner, and this is another addition to your legacy so far. But what went through your head as you watched your players celebrate?
Well, first of all, my belief kasi is the championship moments belong to the players. So I always stay in the sidelines and allow the players to enjoy it because that was really the fruit of their efforts. I was actually on my way to the second floor because our locker room is in the second floor actually dun sa Dabsu. Except I was just prevailed upon by the TV5 staff kasi daw they need me pa for the interview. That's why napatabi ako dun sa stage. It was just a moment to kind of heave a deep sigh of relief and then see how happy the players were, including this guy, our team manager here, running all over the court, going wild. So it was just nice for me to see that. And for me, the sweetness of the victory really is in seeing them reap the benefits because they really put in the hard work. And for them to see that, it pays off pala in the end. For me, that was the most special thing.
Always a joy, seeing your players celebrate the wins. Of course, you always, Coach, you're always humble in giving them the credit. And I mean, throughout the season, you had that adversity. You always point out they went through adversity as a team and never wavered. I mean, you got guys like Kelly Williams, Troy Rosario, going through injuries, and then seeing a guy like Pogoy, I mean, of course, a player for you in the national team for a while now. How is it, for you to see them naman succeed, Pogoy with his first championship, and these guys going through adversity? How is it for you, and what did you tell them? I mean, throughout the season, na just keep going, and eventually you're gonna win a championship.
Well, at the end of the game, I said, we saw this. We saw this before, right? Because in our very first meeting, we painted this picture very clearly in their minds that this is where we're going. And then we said, okay, now that we've all agreed, let's forget it and let's put in the work. So when it was all said and done, I said, nakita nyo na to, di ba? You saw this already in the past, right? So that was the first thing that I said. And then secondly, in response to your question of how I feel about the players developing, that's really the satisfaction for any coach to see their growth. The kind of player Peruela was, or Dave Marcelo was, or Kim Montalvo was from the start of the year to the finals. It's night and day, really. So the players developed themselves. They grew individually, and in the process, the team grew and developed as well. So, like I said, that's the greatest satisfaction, really.
Well, Coach, looking at the way that you constructed this team, a lot of the players didn't actually have teams before TNT picked them up. You also mentioned throughout the conference that you don't really believe in just having quote-unquote bench players, or players are defined by that bench role, but rather they're all part of the team. When you have guys like you mentioned, Dave Marcelo, Brian Aruela, coming out big and really contributing as if they were starters, how does that validate yung philosophy na pinupush mo sa TNT?
It validates in our team model. The letter A of that model is accountability. So everyone is accountable. So we build the trust, we put in the effort, and when you do that, it builds the accountability. Because some people will say, Coach, How can we be accountable for something? Hindi naman natin trinabaho to, hindi mo naman sinabi sa amin. But we have laid everything on the table, and now everyone is accountable for it. So when people like Dave Marcelo and Brian Heruela come in, they're accountable for something. It doesn't fall on the shoulders only of the mainstays or the superstars. Every one of the 15 players is accountable for something. Now you may be accountable for being just the best frigging practice player, to be the best scouting team. That's your accountability to the team. So you better be the best practice player there. And if the practice players don't get the job done in practice as the scouting team, they'll get it as well from me, because they have to memorize all the plays of all the other teams that we've played against. So ganun talaga eh. If your primary role is to play defense, you better play defense or to rebound. So we all have different roles, but we only have one job. Our job is to do whatever it takes for this team to win. That's our job. So don't tell me, hindi, rebounder ako, defender ako, hindi naman ako scorer, ganyan. Hindi, trabaho mo yan, because we have different roles, but we only have one job. And the job of everyone on this team, regardless of your position, whether you're team manager, utility, or player, or coaching staff, we only have one job, and that is to do whatever it takes for this team to win.
Perfectly said. I love hearing those, especially when I was playing for you, Coach CHOT. But, you know, talking about roles naman, to Sir Gabby, I want to ask you this, because Coach CHOT will always be humble. How is it having him back on the team as the head coach? And what are your plans ngayon moving forward, in the next conferences?
That's amazing. I've been with Coach CHOT since I was a rookie in Ateneo my first year. And he's definitely mellowed out. Before, if we'd mess up, he'd like throw chairs and stuff, and you'll be like, oh my God, I don't want to be scared of people. I mean, that's what people don't, like I was talking to some people, Coach CHOT may have been away from PBA, but he was with Gilas. He was learning all these things from international basketball, things that, that are, it's international. It's not just PBA, right? So he's gotten to be a better coach. Not only that, off the court, I know he has coach.com. So that in between, when we do training, he's doing workshops. He's helping develop future Filipino leaders. While we have games, aside from helping us, he's helping other companies and other future leaders. So Coach CHOT has really evolved. I mean, I've seen him when he was starting out, when he came from corporate first time in Ateneo. So galing talaga, and what's in store for us is just to keep getting better, like what Coach CHOT would say. I mean, this is the start, and to continue to innovate. I mean, that's the best we can do, and always make sure that we can put the best Filipino basketball forward.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. Of course, Coach CHOT Reyes, a multiple-time winner of the Coach of the Year, and of course, tied the record of the great Coach Baby Dalupan with Philippine Cup titles. Coach, congratulations once again. And of course, team manager Gabby Cui, who honestly should deserve a Team Manager of the Year award. That has to happen. I don't know how it's going to work, but it has to happen. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for having us. Thanks, pal.
Safe flight, Coach.
All right, after the break, Ricci Rivero joins us to talk about the NBA's new officiating style. How does this affect James Harden and the other top scorers of the league? We'll find out when the game returns. Welcome back to the game. I'm Paolo Del Rosario. At this point of the program, it's written by a UP alumnus. So here it is. We are filled with UAP pride because not only am I joined by my partner, former UP Fighting Maroon, Jet Manuel, but we are also joined by UAP Season 79 champion and UAP Season 80 Mythical 5 selection, Ricci Rivero. You see, there's a UP connection there eh. Oo, Ricci, kamusta ka?
Kamusta pa? Hi, Jet.
What's up,
How are you
Ricci?
guys?
We're good, and we're happy to have you here. But before we move on to the NBA, we just want to talk a bit about your former teammate, Kib Montalvo, who is now a PBA champion, and that has a nice ring to it. How do you feel about Kib finally getting there?
Actually, when I saw the picture, I can't really watch PBA because I don't have yung cable. And when I saw the news, the posts about the game nga, I was happy. I was really happy for him kasi he was one of those people who guided me rin throughout the 2 years that we played together. So I'm happy for him and I'm proud for him. So I know he's been working hard for that. So he deserved that.
Oh, I mean, you played with Kim, played against him. It's different, syempre, of course, winning in the PBA. But now, moving on to the NBA, that's why we have you here right now, Ricci. I mean, you talk about the new rules. Di ba? May mga bagong rules na about fouls, about,
physicality.
The physicality is adjusted. And so far this season, fewest free throws per game ever, lowest field goal percentage since 2013, and lowest three-point field goal percentage since the year 2000. It's a different ball game in the NBA. What are your thoughts about the rule changes right now?
For me, parang mas sumaya yung game eh kasi it's something that we've been looking forward to ever since na parang those calls, especially for the rookies kasi may hirapan din yung rookies kapag hindi sila agad nakapag-adjust dun sa bagong level, sa different level. Like, it's a higher level, diba? So, for sure, ako, sobrang na-excite ako every time I watch yung mga NBA games kasi nga, ibang-iba na siya eh. Sobrang daming ginagawa na nakasanayan agad ng players. Pero ngayon, napapractice pa rin nila since nasanay na sila doon. Pero hindi na talaga siya nag-work. So, I was really parang wow dun sa na nangyayari. So ako, I don't know what's gonna happen kung saan ako maglalaro na next, but I'm really looking forward to playing like, yung basketball na normal na kasi I haven't played for like, I don't know, almost 2 years.
Yeah, I feel you. Pero Ricci, grabe, we want to see you on the court again for sure, and we can't wait to see when that happens, how that happens. But, actually, it kind of reminds me of how it's working in the NBA right now. Since there's fewer free throws, the flow of the game is a lot quicker, a lot better.
Yeah.
Parang naiinganyo ka ba seeing that type of basketball again, and that gets you more excited to get back on the court?
Yeah, kasi sobrang bilis ng pace nila eh, pero wala masyadong calls, so the physicality is there. Though, alam naman natin kapag like being physical is different from yung rough na laro. But then, sobrang nakaka-excite lang talagang makabalik na dun sa ganyan yung maayos na normal na basketball na. Kasi nga, yun, again, I haven't played in so long. And seeing them na sobrang bilis ng pace, tapos ano dun yung physicality, tapos sobrang, as in, skills and IQ talaga eh. Basketball IQ talaga yung nag-work. And siguro, yung chemistry na lang, how you guys are gonna play as a team talaga. So, yun, sa akin, sobrang nakaka-excite talaga. Sobrang natutuwa ako dun sa bagong officiating ng NBA. But I feel bad for the players though.
Of course, I get you. Pero, Ricci, pag-usapan natin yung mga idol mo kasi we just showed the graphic a while ago that all the scoring leaders are actually scoring less right now, adjusting to these new rules. Siyempre, yung mga idol mo, si Steph Curry and si Devin Booker in particular. And when you look at the way that they're still getting buckets despite this change and despite the fact that they had to make all these adjustments, their teams are still winning in particular. And how does that make you feel knowing that, you see, my guys don't need to get to the free throw line to make a big difference?
Yeah. For me kasi yung how Devin and how Steph plays, it's way parang ahead from others eh. They're like si Luka, diba? Para silang Bradley Beal, yung mga ganong style kasi for me, ano dun talaga sa how they prepare, how they are really into the game. Kasi yung iba, like for example, James Harden is James Harden, yes. Pero parang grabe talaga niya gamitin yung experience using yung mga, we know that,
Yeah.
kung paano siya mag-bait ng foul or whatsoever. So, ibang-iba talaga how Steph and Devin plays right now. Though, I'm still hands down to LeBron though.
Of course.
319. Ish.
Maraming magagalit dyan eh, if you know,
Iba si LeBron.
yeah, if you throw trash at LeBron's way.
If we talk about James Harden, balikan natin, Ricci, we saw a graphic actually of Josh Hart guarding James Harden with his hand behind his back. I mean, you are probably,
Yeah.
diba, nakita mo yun? One of the closest, I think, in the Philippines to James Harden with his, of course, the sidestep. Pero nakita mo si Harden ngayon, medyo nagsistruggle siya in drawing fouls and it affected his game. Pinapag-isipan mo ba yung ganun? Kasi magaling ka rin sa, sa pag-draw ng foul, just like him.
That's why I'm watching it now because again, dapat nandun talaga yung parang sobrang into the game ka talaga. So ako talagang nanonood ako ng games ng basketball ngayon. Sometimes PBA but not as much. Pero yung NBA talaga, sometimes I watch B-League as well. Para maka-cope up din kasi kailangan into the game pa rin tayo. Kailangan hindi nawawala talaga yung how we see things. Kasi parang, for example, di ba pag may games ako before, after the game, I watch my film and then I watch what's happening or what happened. Kaya kailangan baguhin natin yung mga ganyang bagay. So dito pa lang, I'm really trying to adjust. Sana hindi yan sa UAAP if I'm still eligible. Yeah.
Well, alam mo, Ricci, we're sure that you're preparing like your idols. So we're sure that you're going to have a lot of moves in your repertoire. And I don't know, maybe we'll see you less on the foul line, but then you're still going to get your buckets. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And when we return, we'll get to know the secret behind the dominance of Sisi, Rondina, and Bernadeth Pons in the Beach Volleyball Republic. Stay tuned. You're watching the game. And welcome back to the game. It was sand court dominance for esteemed national team tandem Sisi Rondina and Bernadeth Pons of the Creamline Beach Volleyball team. Rondina and Pons smashed the back-to-back win in both legs of the BVR on Tour Santa Ana, Cagayan. And tonight, one half of the formidable duo, Bernadeth Pons, joins us still from the tip of Luzon to share the secret behind their success. Pons, again, congrats. And grabe naman yung back-to-back championships. Ramdam namin yung init ng beach volleyball action.
Thank you po.
Grabe. Pons, can I just say, I am jealous of how you look right now kasi halatang galing beach eh. And it is fantastic. Sobrang selos ako. But let's talk a bit about what happened on the court, especially yung partnership po with Sisi. It feels like serial winners kayo eh. At Sisi was actually here before talking about yung background nyo together that, wala eh. It feels like match made in heaven kayong dalawa on the sand court eh. Can you talk a bit about yung pairing yung dalawa and how much it's getting better and better throughout yung years?
Kami kasi ni Sisi, nag-start yung partnership namin 2017 nung nasa Petron kami. Pero yung band namin noon, hindi naman talaga na palagi kaming magkasama kasi nasa UST pa siya noon. At the same time, nasa FQ din ako. So meron kaming mga kanya-kanyang responsibilities pa sa school namin. So magsasama lang talaga kami weeks before the competition para mag-prepare doon sa magiging tournament. Pero pagdating naman sa loob ng court, sobrang nagkakasundo kami kasi sobrang parehas kami ng gusto. Sobrang parehas namin na gustong manalo. Sobrang parehas kami na dedicated doon sa ginagawa namin. Sobrang kinukumit talaga namin yung sarili namin. And sobrang mahal namin yung ginagawa namin. And lahat ng ginagawa namin, hindi lang para sa sarili namin. Sobrang ginagawa namin yon para sa mga families namin, sa school namin, sa team, and sa bansa. Yon, kaya hindi rin naging mahirap sa aming dalawa yung chemistry namin sa loob ng court kasi nga parehas kami ng gusto. Up to now, mas naging solid pa talaga yung tandem namin because of the pandemic. Kasi ngayong year, February, nakastart na kami mag-bubble. So, magkasama na kami sa isang bahay lang. So, mas nakilala pa namin yung isa't isa inside and outside the court. Kasi before, parang magsasama lang kami pag malapit na yung laro eh. Unlike ngayon, na parang magkasama na talaga kami sa loob ng bahay. So, mas naging...
Actually, Pons.
Talaga namin.
Yeah, actually, Pons, that actually leads me to my next question. Can you describe yung communication nyo with Sisi? Kasi playing with each other for a very long time, baka mental na eh. Baka you don't even say words anymore. May telepathy na ba kayo?
May sipon na
Oo,
connection.
kasi kami ni Jet, we're partners here, but then we have to tell each other what we have to do eh. Pero kayo, how is it?
Kami kasi ni Sisi, parang tinginan pa lang, alam na namin, sa tagal na rin namin nagsasama, parang tinginan pa lang namin, alam na namin yung ibig sabihin ng isa't isa. So, yun, sobrang thankful lang din na mas naging solid pa kami ngayon because of the pandemic kasi nga naka-bubble setup. So, mas nakita namin yung isa't isa outside the court.
Oh, and talking about ito ngayong connection nyo, the Sipon connection, ano yung next para sa inyong dalawa? Yun nga, binanggit mo, nagbabubble kayo sa Santa Ana. Ano yung pupuntahan nyo from ngayon?
Ngayon, we're preparing for the Asian Senior Beach Volleyball Championship sa Thailand ngayong November 23 to 27. So yun, magpapaiwan muna kami dito sa Santa Ana para mag-training for preparation dun sa Thailand na game namin.
Pons, again, very jealous that you're out there in Santa Ana. You look like you're kissed by the beach and we want to be that also. Pero unfortunately, nandito kami sa studio. Pero thank you very much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you so much po.
And thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Jet Manuel.
I'm Paul Del Rosario and this has been The Game.